Hi, I'm Bill Nye, and I love science. Physics is all around us, even if you don't realize it. It explains how things move, why things fall, and even how we hear music. Understanding basic physics can make the world a much more interesting place. Let's dive in. Imagine you have a soccer ball sitting still on the grass. It's just lying there, not moving an inch. You might wonder why it doesn't just start rolling on its own. Well, that's where Newton's first law of motion comes into play. Newton's first law of motion, also called the law of inertia, says that an object at rest will stay at rest unless a force acts upon it. This means that our soccer ball will remain perfectly still until something or someone gives it a push or a kick. That means our soccer ball won't move until someone kicks it. Imagine a player coming up and giving it a good solid kick. The ball suddenly springs to life, rolling across the field. Now imagine kicking the ball across a grassy field. It starts off fast, but as it rolls, it begins to slow down. You might notice it doesn't keep going forever. It eventually slows down and stops, right? That's because of friction. Friction is a force that opposes motion, and it's always at work, even if we can't see it. Friction is a force that opposes motion. When the soccer ball rolls on the grass, the tiny blades of grass and the surface of the ball rub against each other. This rubbing creates friction, which slows the ball down. The grass and the air resist the ball's movement, causing it to slow down and eventually stop. Cool, right? But there's more to it. The air around the ball also plays a role. As the ball moves, it pushes against the air and the air pushes back. This is called air resistance, another form of friction. So when you see a soccer ball come to a stop, it's not just the grass that's slowing it down. The air is also working against it. This combination of grass friction and air resistance ensures that the ball won't roll forever. Now think about what happens if you kick the ball on a smooth surface, like a gym floor. The ball would roll much farther before stopping because there's less friction on a smooth surface compared to grass. This demonstrates how different surfaces affect the motion of objects. On a smooth surface, there's less friction, so the ball can keep moving longer. But even on a smooth surface, the ball will eventually stop because of air resistance. So, whether it's grass or a gym floor, the principles of inertia and friction are always at work. They determine how and when the ball will stop. Understanding these forces helps us appreciate the simple yet fascinating laws of physics that govern our everyday world. Next time you see a soccer ball sitting still or rolling to a stop, you'll know it's all about inertia and friction. These forces are constantly at play, shaping the motion of objects around us. Isn't science amazing? Have you ever wondered how we hear sound? It's all about vibrations. When you pluck a guitar string, it starts to vibrate rapidly. These vibrations create waves of pressure that travel through the air, just like ripples in a pond. When these sound waves reach your ear, they cause your eardrum to vibrate. Your brain interprets these vibrations as sound, allowing you to hear the music. Isn't it amazing how our bodies are designed to experience the world around us?
Know you've been a good friend.
The force of gravity, what goes up must come down. This is a fundamental principle that governs our everyday lives, even if we don't always think about it. From the moment we wake up and drop our keys to the times we see leaves falling from trees, gravity is at work. We all know that if you drop something, it falls to the ground. This is something we learn from a very young age. Whether it's a toy slipping from a child's hand or a book falling off a shelf, gravity ensures that these objects don't just float away. But have you ever wondered why? It's because of gravity. This invisible force is constantly pulling objects towards the center of the Earth. It's a force that has fascinated scientists for centuries, from Isaac Newton to Albert Einstein. Gravity is a force that pulls all objects towards each other. It's what keeps the planets in orbit around the sun and what makes sure we stay firmly planted on the ground. Without gravity, life as we know it would be impossible. The Earth has a lot of mass, so it has a strong gravitational pull. The more mass an object has, the stronger its gravitational pull. This is why we don't float away into space and why objects fall to the ground when dropped. That's why a bowling ball falls much faster than a feather. In a vacuum, where there is no air resistance, both would fall at the same rate, but in our everyday environment, air resistance slows down lighter objects like feathers. Gravity pulls harder on objects with more mass. This is why heavier objects seem to fall faster. However, it's not just the mass that matters. Air resistance plays a significant role in how fast an object falls. But don't worry, even a feather will eventually reach the ground. It may take a bit longer due to air resistance, but gravity ensures that everything, no matter how light, will find its way down. So next time you see something fall, remember the incredible force of gravity at work. The magic of light. From flashlights to rainbows. Light is fascinating. It's something we encounter every day, yet it holds so many secrets and wonders that we often overlook. From the simple act of turning on a flashlight to the mesmerizing beauty of a rainbow, light plays a crucial role in our lives. When you turn on a flashlight, it seems like the light appears instantly. This is because light travels at an astonishing speed. Imagine being able to travel around the Earth 7.5 times in just 1 second. That's the speed of light for you. Light travels at approximately 186,000 miles per second. To put that into perspective, if you could travel at the speed of light, you could reach the moon in just over a second. It's mind-boggling to think about how fast light really is. It's hard to imagine anything moving that quickly. Our everyday experiences with speed are so much slower. For instance, the fastest car in the world can only reach speeds of around 300 miles per hour, which is nothing compared to the speed of light. Now, let's talk about rainbows. Rainbows are one of nature's most beautiful displays. They appear when sunlight is refracted or bent and then reflected inside water droplets in the atmosphere. This process splits the light into its component colors, creating a spectrum that we see as a rainbow. Have you ever noticed how sunlight can be split into different colors when it passes through a prism? This is because white light is actually a combination of all the colors of the rainbow. When it passes through a prism, the light is bent at different angles depending on its wavelength, separating it into different colors. That's because white light is actually made up of all the colors of the rainbow combined. Each color of light has a different wavelength, and when they all come together, they form white light. This is why when white light passes through a prism, it splits into its component colors. The prism bends the different colors of light at different angles, separating them out so we can see them. Pretty cool, huh? This phenomenon is known as dispersion, and it's the reason we can see rainbows in the sky after a rainstorm. The water droplets act like tiny prisms, bending the sunlight and creating a beautiful spectrum of colors. You can even create your own rainbows at home using a simple glass of water and a flashlight. Just shine the flashlight through the glass at an angle, and you'll see the light split into a rainbow on the other side. It's a fun and easy way to explore the wonders of light and color. Light is all around us, and it affects everything we do. It helps us see, it keeps us warm, and it even influences our mood. Different colors of light can have different effects on our emotions. For example, blue light is known to have a calming effect, while red light can make us feel more alert and energized. Understanding the properties of light can help us make better choices in our daily lives. For instance, using the right kind of lighting in our homes and workplaces can improve our productivity and well-being. So next time you turn on a light, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that light has taken to reach you. From the simple beam of a flashlight to the breathtaking beauty of a rainbow, light is truly magic. It's a reminder of the wonders of the natural world and the incredible science that lies within. So keep exploring, asking questions, and keep marveling at the magic of light. Conclusion: physics makes the world go round. Physics helps us understand the world around us, from the smallest particles to the largest stars. By learning about basic physics concepts, we can appreciate the wonders of the universe and how everything works together. So keep asking questions, keep exploring, and never stop learning.